Let's talk about that opening exorcism scene. We were just talking about Julian Hilliard, the child actor there, and his ability to just kind of embody this monstrous, demonic, I guess, character trait for him at that moment. I'd like to kind of start with this idea of how are you creating a scary, creepy environment with child actors? Like, I think there has to be a point where maybe you feel like, can we really go there with a child actor? Is it how far is too far? I mean, did you feel those things working with him?
You know what? It is a very sensitive. You got to tread that water carefully, and we learned this in Shavs in our last movie, which was The Curse of La Llorona, and the two main people were also children, and that we put them in some pretty terrifying situations, as we did in this one. First off, we always make sure that the parents are there and that they are watching at all times to make sure that their child is never in an uncomfortable position. And I think what you do is you just ease into it, and you always make sure that the child is comfortable. You always ask them, and you make sure they tell you if something's going on that they're not okay with. I think that's the best, because sometimes you got to push them a little bit, because it's also, you think about watching it is obviously a completely different thing. But when you're there on this stage and the set, and there's lights everywhere, and there's a ton of people, and there's crews with cameras, and the child's not going to get scared. It's more of just making sure that they feel comfortable with everything.
Yeah. I want to talk for a few minutes about the way that you shot and lit that opening exorcism scene. I can only imagine the pressure of knowing that first few minutes of a horror film, and then specifically a Conjuring film, it really has to grip the audience immediately. So there's a lot of pressure on that first scene. So how are you achieving it?
Again, that sets the tone for the whole movie, the mood, what the audience should expect. And a big part of that was done in actually the shot that opens the sequence, which is when the priest comes up and pulls up into the taxi cab, and we do our little homage to The Exorcist. And that was always in our heads. Clearly, you can see the similarities, but we wanted it to look obviously different. We wanted it to look a whole nother way. So we kind of set that up with, you can see in the top window in the background that Arnie's silhouetted, faceless. You can't see him. So kind of, demon-esque, he's faceless. We'll just leave it at that. And then, the priest is lit by, which is supposed to look like a street light right above. You can see him clearly. And then he's kind of silhouetted by this smoke coming across the fog. And so I think for me, that really helped to set the tone of what this priest is walking into. And then it starts with the kid, running into the bathroom and the blood spraying on him. And for that sequence I knew that there was going to be blood in the scene. So I played a kind of warmer street light coming through the window that I thought would enhance the blood red. And I thought it looked pretty cool. So I thought that was interesting to help, build that up a little bit. And
I also love the frame that's formed by the shower curtain.
Oh yeah.
Like you go above, you do kind of a top-down shot, and the shower curtain is held by this border that like kind of puts a frame in a frame in that shot. I loved that. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, well, that's great. Thank you very much. Shavs, I'm very lucky. Shavs is a very visual director, and he likes for us to come up with those kind of shots and keep it very visually stimulating. So I think I love working with him in that sense. But anyways, that sequence takes us down into the dining room, which obviously is the big exorcism scene. And that was, we had to make that visually just boom, just glow. Cause that's the beginning of it all. And
yeah,
we threw around some ideas of what we could do, and we started throwing out, let's have the lights go crazy. Okay, that'll help build to this energy. And so I started playing around with it, and I was like, you know what? It's just not singing like it could. So what I ended up doing is I ended up adding a lot more lights than you normally would do. And I did that to add like this strobing effect of everything going on around him. And the energy of it, I thought, just heightened tremendously as I started to add more lights into the flicker effect.